The battle began. General Rock and Panda fought the enemy with Zhou Nan. Scarface went to collect materials for a task. In no time, Zhou Nan and the others cleared the wild monsters at the gate. But suddenly, Hat Brother noticed something strange. The shark boss Shalio appeared. General Rock rushed forward and used a stun skill, stunning Shalio for 3 seconds. Zhou Nan took advantage of the opportunity to instruct his subordinates to focus their attacks. The boss's health was reduced to just 1/3. Then, Zhou Nan summoned Burning Turtle, and the turtle sat on Shalio, killing it instantly. Shortly after, a notification from the system arrived, congratulating the warriors on successfully guarding and passing the first level of Kasana N5, Epic Difficulty. Their achievement would be recorded in the current dungeon room list notice board. They could set their nicknames and victory statements. At the same time, onlookers saw that the lights in Zhou Nan's room had gone out, thinking that Zhou Nan had indeed failed. In contrast, the Red Card family's room still had lights on, leading people to believe that they would be the last hope. But then, another notification from the system arrived, announcing the successful completion of Kasana N5, and it was Zhou Nan's team who had done so with a time of 91 minutes and 52 seconds. Everyone was shocked, and Zhou Nan and his team members' remarks were very provocative, all saying is that it. The crowd was outraged. Zhou Nan also received a card that he did not know how to use, the wolf skin coat. The instructions explained that wearing this coat would allow users to transform into a wolf, and in this form, they could swallow small targets, such as players or NPCs, decreasing their health by 300 points per second until digestion was complete. Targets that were digested would be demoted automatically, and players could not swallow other targets during digestion. In this form, the player's identity information would remain confidential, and all cards would return to the storage backpack, rendering them unusable. The enemy's hostility towards NPCs or monsters would change. If the player were killed while in wolf form, the card would disappear, except in special scenes like the arena. Zhou Nan put on the coat, feeling quite comfortable. He immediately transformed into a true wolf form, and the system informed him that a new dungeon, Sunset Forest, had been added after completing the Kasana dungeon. Sunset Forest was described as a mysterious forest where danger and opportunity coexisted, with vicious monsters guarding ancient treasures. This was the Battle Royale dungeon, and it officially began once 100 players joined. With Zhou Nan's transformation into a wild wolf, he could move freely among the wolf pack, and other players could not detect his true identity. While exploring, Zhou Nan discovered a crystal treasure box. But strangely, the equipment was outside the box, and another player ran over to take it. But in the next second, the treasure box swallowed the player whole. Zhou Nan suspected that the treasure box was also a player who had transformed, so he quietly approached the box from behind and swallowed it up. However, the player in the treasure box could still use a card to summon monsters after being swallowed by Zhou Nan, who couldn't fight back. In the end, Zhou Nan was slapped by a black panther summoned by the treasure box and could only escape in a hurry. Zhou Nan ran all the way to his companions, and one of them used a flame to kill all the summoned creatures, and Zhou Nan had already digested the treasure box by then. Suddenly, a notice from the system arrived, area announcement, the Sunset Force has descended. People who reach the throne after 20 minutes will own everything in the forest. Other players also began fighting fiercely to obtain the throne. However, the players who were nearing the throne were directly killed by a green dragon. With only 20 seconds left on the countdown, there were only 3 players left. At this moment, a rabbit hopped and wanted to climb the throne, but was swallowed by a red wolf that had been hiding behind it for a long time. Meanwhile, Zhou Nan appeared behind the red wolf and defeated it. He then climbed onto the throne. The system sent a notification. The power of the setting sun has descended. Congrats on becoming the final survivor and receiving the forest treasure box. The forest treasure box has been delivered to your mission hall. Excitedly, Zhou Nan opened the box and found 566 coins, 200 points, diamonds, a wild gem, a game rooster, a fire wolf king, and a mysterious egg. Zhou Nan first synthesized the burning turtle and panda, obtaining the burning panda. Then, she used the wild gem to strengthen it. Next, Zhou Nan turned her attention to the egg. He knew that the creature hatched from it would be determined by the hatchling. Zhou Nan decided to hatch the egg with a green dragon in the setting sun forest. Afterwards, Zhou Nan synthesized a transformation card, the Snake Demon. He went to the green dragon and used the card to transform into a snake demon. Unexpectedly, the wild monsters also attacked her. While trying to escape, Zhou Nan accidentally encountered members of the Red Card family. They mistook her for a new recruit and introduced her to their teammates. As Zhou Nan had transformed into a woman, she became very popular among them. When they asked what cards she had, Zhou Nan lied and said that she only had a slime as she had run out of points. One of the members, blue-haired brother, offered to protect Zhou Nan and led the group into battle. They arranged to meet at the entrance of the family warehouse afterwards. In the end, only Zhou Nan and the Red Wolf remained. She defeated Red Wolves and climbed onto the throne once again. Since the family base was restricted to non-members, Zhou Nan used her recently synthesized butterfly of trust to enter the delivery location. As promised, Zhou Nan went to the Red Card family and was greeted warmly. The clan leader noticed her and asked for her name. Zhou Nan made up a name to brush it off. After leaving the Red Card family, Zhou Nan went to the outskirts of the forest to find the NPC who issued mushroom collection missions, Little Red Riding Hood. Zhou Nan remembered that NPCs could also be swallowed according to the wolf skin. He was about to take action, resulting in Little Red Riding Hood also transforming into a black wolf. Then, she was swallowed by Zhou Nan, and Zhou Nan obtained a 5-star green card, Legendary Werewolf Wolfman. Zhou Nan received a hidden mission notification from the system. Congratulations, you can read Hungry Wolf Legend and submit this book to the Silver City Alchemist Association. You will receive generous rewards. Then Zhou Nan put a suppression cloak on the werewolf, who instantly turned back into Little Red Riding Hood. At this point, Hat Brother sent a message, "Boss, come quick. I've reached level 10 and have to choose a skill. Should I choose card synthesis, a professional skill or a regular skill?" Zhou Nan told him to choose card synthesis. Hat Brother's synthesis skill can make delicious dishes, which made Zhou Nan wonder where the ingredients came from. Hat Brother said they came from the nearby beach. Without hesitation, Zhou Nan built a tower and started harvesting crabs and lobsters. After a long harvest, Zhou Nan got a pretty good card and directly used the same named card to strengthen it. Zhou Nan felt that such a cool card would be a waste if no one else could see it, so he decided to participate in the Arena Challenge. The Arena Challenge mode allowed players to put up their own cards for others to challenge. Winning would earn gold coins and raise the card's ranking. Upon arrival at the Red Card family, they were in a panic because of the card Zhou Nan had recently put up. It had surpassed all their cards. The chief of the family decided to personally challenge Zhou Nan's Sword Dragon. The chief summoned the Red Savage, who leaped up and struck Sword Dragon with his stick. His actions were interrupted by the sword that Sword Dragon blew out. He continued to strike at Sword Dragon with his stick, but it was like hitting an iron block. Sword Dragon once again released a sword, killing the Red Savage instantly. The chief then summoned the Magma Giant, who attacked with a ball of flames but was immediately killed by Sword Dragon's single attack. Finally, the chief summoned her trump card, the 9-star red card, Blazing Blood Naga Enternafe. All the swords blown out by Sword Dragon were sliced off by Blazing Blood Naga Enternafe. It turns out that the 2 cards summoned by the chief earlier were used to scout all the data of Sword Dragon. Blazing Blood Naga Enternafe leaped up and struck with both hands, cutting Sword Dragon into pieces. The final blow killed Sword Dragon. Zhou Nan looked at the chief with some discontent. The chief saw that Zhou Nan was dissatisfied and suggested a one-on-one battle. Zhou Nan readily agreed. The chief sent out the 3 monsters that had just fought, while Zhou Nan sent out the Panda Cannoneer and Flying Axe Bear. The Cannoneer fired the first shot, while the Magma Giant resisted with flames. With 1 hit from the Cannoneer, it leveled up and killed the Red Savage with 1 shot. The chief sneered and said, "Let me teach you a lesson. Although most summoning skills are automatically cast, there are also cards that can be specially created to command skills to be cast." Then he had the Magma Giant release a taunting skill. Zhou Nan's summoned creatures all cast their skills towards the Magma Giant, while the chief's Naga struck at the opportune moment and defeated Zhou Nan directly. Zhou Nan was vacationing by the seaside at this time, feeling unhappy about the matter. Hat Brother told Zhou Nan, "Yesterday, a pretty little girl traded a lobster for a secret scroll. Look at what I traded. Is it worth it?" Zhou Nan opened it and discovered it was actually a card group information. The so-called card group is where all the cards in the group are collected to get a special effect. For example, if you have 9 Night Cat cards, as long as 1 Night Cat does not die, the other Night Cats will not die either. But these cards, let alone having heard of them, even seeing them may not be enough to synthesize them. Zhou Nan promptly got up and went back to the beach to continue collecting cards. After a period of effort, Zhou Nan collected enough crabs and lobsters. At this time, a notification came that Hat Brother was being beaten up and requested Zhou Nan's rescue. The opponent kicked Hat Brother's things over and demanded protection money, which Hat Brother refused. So the 2 proposed to go to the arena for a one-on-one fight. Just then, a sword shot over. It turned out that Zhou Nan had returned. Zhou Nan and the opponent came to the arena, and Hat Brother summoned a group of black cats towards Zhou Nan. Sword Dragon, Zhou-Nan's creature, instantly killed most of the black cats with its sword mouth. However, due to the effect of the black cat card group, the dead black cats were revived by their companions just as Zhou-Nan was being surrounded. One little green dragon carried Zhou-Nan into the air. This was actually a small green dragon hatched by the green dragon. Zhou-Nan immediately summoned Flame Panda and punched it, killing half of the black cat. However, there was one black cat that managed to escape but was killed by Sword Dragon's sword. At this moment, the head of the red card family suddenly appeared, looking for Zhou-Nan, who had transformed into a woman. The head's subordinates recognized that Zhou-Nan was a pervert who had touched the thigh of an angel 369 times. As a result, they prepared to fight Zhou-Nan to the death. The head summoned the Bloodbath Giant Dragon to attack Zhou-Nan, but it was blocked by Flame Panda. The Bloodbath Giant Dragon spewed flames, but Helmet Man suddenly attacked Zhou-Nan. He wanted to show off in front of the head of the red card family. At this critical moment, Yellow-Haired arrived on an elephant. Zhou-Nan asked Yellow-Haired to deal with Helmet Man while he rode on Sword Dragon to prepare to delay the head. He was hit by the dragon's flames as they came out. Zhou-Nan held the green card confidently and waved it, scaring the head so much that she couldn't open her eyes. The result of the summoning was a truck. The head felt that she had been tricked and thought that Zhou-Nan was a fool. Zhou-Nan dragged the truck and ran towards the seaside. The head ordered the Bloodbath Giant Dragon to spew fire at Zhou-Nan. Zhou-Nan threw the truck forward and summoned Panda to ride it. The panda punched straight through the Bloodbath Giant Dragon. The dragon fell into the water. It turned out that this truck was a card that Zhou-Nan had synthesized a few days ago. Its only drawback was that it couldn't fly, but it could move on water and land as if it were level ground. The head rode on the Bloodbath Giant Dragon and flew out of the water, releasing hellfire once again. This fire didn't go out when it met water and directly hit Zhou-Nan into the sea. This fire could burn on the water and under the water. If Zhou-Nan delayed any longer, there would be nowhere to hide. Sword Dragon and Gunner could both attack in midair, but Gunner standing on the truck might be targeted, and Sword Dragon was too fragile and couldn't last long. How could they break the deadlock? Should they call cross-dressing Zhou-Nan to tell the head that it was all a misunderstanding? At this moment, Sword Dragon leaped out of the water. Bloodbath Giant Dragon spewed fire at Sword Dragon, while Zhou-Nan summoned Water Tornado. Sword Dragon was actually just a distraction. Panda and Water Tornado teamed up to kill the Bloodbath Giant Dragon, and the head took the opportunity to flee. Gunner fired a shot at the head and killed the head of the red card family. Because Zhou-Nan killed a player in this area, he was wanted and would be pursued. Zhou-Nan decided not to return to the city and continued to brush the Dragon Palace deck.